Alright, that side of the hood is 600 grit wet sanded. You can see all the black up there. That's the black lacquer primer. You can see the difference in the contrast. Actually, you see in the street light shining down on here, you notice it changes colors right here. Street light only comes to here. See, I got a couple of little low spots I'm going to work out there and there and there. And then here's what the black covered up high build looks like. And you just block and block and block. You want to stop right here. You're almost burnt through. I got my hood louver in today. I ordered this thing on Wednesday and it came in on Friday. The one, I don't know if I showed one in another video or not, but it was the wrong one. The hood hinges were different and it didn't have the squirter holes. And it didn't come all the way to the front. So I sold it to a buddy of mine that has one that it fit. And then I just ordered a new one and it came in today. That's what all the holes are here. So it'll come literally within probably a quarter inch of this edge, which is good because there's a dent right here. You can't see it right now, but it's a pretty substantial dent. And this metal is like a beer can, so thin and flimsy. So that's the whole point of the louver, which it added a little aesthetics to it, and it cleared up me having to try and get that flat. Because when you try and sand on it, hear it? I mean, it buckles real easy. So we got that sitting here. I'm going to pick up some more clear tomorrow because I'm clearing this twice. I'm going to wet sand it, the whole thing again. Basically just, you know, the top surfaces that you see. Not so much worried about like all these insides and stuff like that. And then I will clear it a second time. I've got enough to do it, but then I'll be out. And then I'm working on these. I want to get these painted this weekend. And then the box of parts is enormous that came off of this nuts, bolts, brackets. So we'll get to sanding. Alright, that thing's done wet sanded. That's my little louver thing on the hood. I can cut this out if I need to. It's a pattern right there in the back of the Jeep. But other than that, the hood's ready to paint. I mean, that's like, you can see it's like glass on there. Alright, done for tonight. Done the hood. I've done the window frame. I've done the cowl. I've done grill shell. I got two fenders and a trunk lid left over there, or tailgate. I'll do those tomorrow. I found a pretty deep scratch on this window frame. It's actually on the facing forward part, so I want to get that touched up. Hit it with a little quick high build tomorrow. But what I'll do is I'll wet sand the fenders and the tailgate, make sure I don't have anything else needs to be cleared up a little bit, and then we'll get ready for some paint maybe Sunday. Alright, I had a couple spots on the fenders I had to fix. I had a couple of pretty deep scratches right here. One there and then one there. And then one there. Almost like really deep stone chips. So I went ahead and spot puttied them. We'll put some more high build on those. I had a bad spot in here and then right there. I'm going to re-spot putty that louver. I know I said it was done once. There's a bracket underneath there and they spot welded it. And the spot welds are as big as your thumb, so they won't block sand out. So I went ahead and spot puttied those in. Two little door dings down there that I did not catch before. A door ding on top of the fender. More spot putties, or more spot welds. And where the louver was bolted before, it left a big groove. So I went ahead and filled that groove in. I'm going to block sand. 90% of everything you see there is coming off. I just only want to do it once. So I put excessive amounts on so I can, you know, just do it one time. I guess it would be safe to say I'm out of spot putty. I've done stomped on that thing and cut it open and squeezed out every bit I can, because it's $35 or $40 for one of those, so they're pretty expensive. So I'll get the block sanding those, but the hood's done, tailgate's done, grill shells outside. So we've just got these 4 little pieces to fix real quick, and we'll get some paint on them maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. All right, there's my window frame done, hanging on the frame. The cowl panel is over there by the door, done. Hood's done, grill's done, tailgate's done. I got these 2 fenders. I had found the little dings and stuff in those. Got those block sanded out. Found a spot that wouldn't block sand out, so I quickly hit it real quick. And then this place right here. I've block sanded it a couple of times and it just keeps rearing its ugly head, so I 80 gridded it all back out. Did a little swipe with some Bondo there, and that's actually spot putty. I'll block sand that out, and then I'll give it a quick little dab of high build in this area right here and that little area right there. Let it sit 3 more hours and then finish it, hopefully. Alright, there's color on the rest of the parts. I just had to touch that door up a little bit. I need to let this dry for about an hour. I got a sag in the base coat. The easiest shit to paint, but I'm down here. When I started painting, it was 70 degrees out, so it was just probably 10 or 15 degrees cooler than it needed to be, but I'm gonna wet sand that with some 800 or 600 and some wax and grease remover, and then I've got enough left in my cup to give this hood another coat. There's 2 coats on the center, and then I'm going to do just the outsides because that's got a big metal piece that goes over the top of that hood. So, but other than that, everything else turned out okay. I had a little fisheye in one of the fenders in the front. Down there, actually I had 3 fish eyes. So I quickly stopped, I let that dry and set up, and then I wet sanded that with 800 grit and some wax and grease remover. Hell, I don't know, it's probably 9 o'clock now. I started at 6:30, and then I let that set up an hour, wax and grease removered it with 800 grit, gave it another blast. On we go. Well, they're all painted finally. 3 coats clear on everything, which took, to put a coat on every piece you see hanging was 1 quart. So I used 3 quarts of clear to put 3 coats on everything. The door actually turned out nice. Fenders turned out nice, a little bit of dust in the orange, or a little bit of dust in the hood because it's lying flat. If I could have hung it up like that door down there, but that's all right, it'll wet sand and buff out. There's no dust in that thing. Only partially painted the tailgate because it's getting a big cover on it. And then that there. And I'm telling you, I was getting a little nervous towards the end because I ran out of paint. I had this much paint in the cup, and I had a couple little spots I had to touch up, and I still had to fog the last coat on. So, I mean, I literally ran out of paint. There's a can on the floor. That is, if you had to buy that, you're looking at, that's $800. What went on this Jeep? Now you're looking at $380 for that gallon of paint, $150 in high build, $150 in clear coat. Not to mention, you use lacquer thinner and sandpaper and all the other materials you use up. That's why shit costs damn much money, and it costs so much to paint a vehicle. But there it is. We're gonna let it sit all day and dry tomorrow. I'm gonna probably wet sand and buff the hood, and then we'll go from there.